Why does every guy cheat on you? Trust me, I know. How come girls always call you their friend? I can tell you. We'll talk about your strengths and we'll talk about emotions. Secrets of Birthdays, now live for purchase. Check out yours at secretsofbirthdays.com. Namaste, and welcome to Soul Horoscopes Orbits Edition from my webcam to yours. I'm Christopher Rayman Witecki, your astrologer and soul biographer, here to help you put the pieces of your karmic story together. Well, the sun is in Libra. In fact, we're about halfway through the Libra transit. We'll move from step 13 to step 19 this week. We're focusing on human relations with the sun in Libra, our own relationship to ourselves. We're trying to negotiate peace, and we're stuck in a grand square. But we'll make some progress this week with that grand cross. Emotionally, it's pretty intense. It starts in Scorpio, then we have Love Fest on Tuesday with the moon in Sagittarius. Then it gets really serious again for 2 days in Capricorn. We got to make some serious decisions. Then we're thinking about the future or feeling about the future this weekend. The moon signs most affected are Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, and Aquarius. And the moon signs going to the dark side this week are Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and Leo. Now looking at orbits, man, how our own chakras are affected. The moon, of course, is going to affect mostly the throat chakra this week. That's bringing yellow light to the blue light. It also goes up into the third eye, and don't be surprised if you don't have some crazy dreams. The sun is orbiting our throat chakra as well. So literally, we're getting things all around the throat, all around protection, all around that kind of feeling of choking us up, right? And then Mars is causing heartache to some degree because it's orbiting the heart chakra. So if there's any kind of heart loss, it's a bit more painful than usual right now. Looking at the planets, that trine from Black Lilith up to Saturn means that as you take responsibility and draw emotional boundaries with yourself, you will immediately see old karma cut away thanks to Black Lilith. And Black Lilith moves to step 13 this week, which means we're seeing a whole new reality. Now with the Grand Cross or Grand Square, it will begin to shake loose just a little bit. The sun is out of Black Lilith's grasp, but now is in the grasp of Jupiter. And then at the end of the week, we're going to see the Grand Cross hit kind of a climax. And then, of course, the Grand Trine with Black Lilith, which is saying as you draw emotional boundaries with yourself, you cut away from negative karma, and you move on to your spiritual path, which is a good thing. Zooming in, there's a party going on in Scorpio. Mercury has now joined the Scorpio party. The moon crosses this party this week, and of course, Venus is at the top. So we are focusing on the small details of trust, being responsible on the mid details of trust, and dreaming about the high details of trust. And of course, I'll have all those details of trust when you get upstairs. But before we talk about you, let's grab the Ascension elevator, shall we? And head on upstairs for a bird's eye view of you.
Folks, this is your captain speaking. We realize you have a choice in the astrologers you choose to fly with, and we'd just like to thank you for flying with Christopher Witecki.
Namaste, Aries and Aries risings, my heroes, and welcome to 33,000 feet for a bird's eye view of you. But we have a lot going on. The universe and the planets are intense. You watched the opening. You saw what's out there. We got a grand square, grand cross, however you want to look at it. And it is a tug of war between your ego and your relationships. And guess which one is not correct? Both. That was a trick question, I admit. And at the same time, career versus home and family seems to be at a tug of war. And so the universe is pulling on us in four ways. But really, this is about partnerships and marriage. And you know what? You already went through this. In 2009 to 2012, all Aries and Aries risings went through a marriage and partnership upgrade, where they walked down the aisle with themselves, hopefully first, and then maybe someone else. And now it's really been about trust and intimacy. And the truth is, the issue with marriage and partnerships now has to do with trust and intimacy. So it is time, hero, to decide who you are to yourself for certain. That's the marriage. And then secondly, who are you willing to be for someone else? And you may have made a whole bunch of vows 2.5 years ago, but now that it's time to pay the piper or stand up or be strong for yourself, you're getting an honest view of where your heart or where your strength of boundaries really lies. So this week, we move from balance and judgment and harmony issues, which is the marriage, dealing with the marriage, to judgment, weighing impartiality, and being able to balance things, staying impartial, staying objective, and making the right decisions and not making decisions that benefit partnerships before you. We want to honor the marriage first and then honor marriage and partnerships second. So you're moving into the party that technically judges, the part of you that goes, is this person good for me or not? That's a judgment. And of course, judgment can only happen if you've been honest with yourself about who you are and you're not falsely judging yourself, etc. So we're moving into judgment. This week, the sun will move from a breakthrough in marriage and partnership to moving forward with marriage and partnership at the end of the week. So in 1 week, you're saying, hey, I'm happy with me, let's get married or let's get divorced or something, but you're moving to take action as soon as next Sunday. Now, the real story, remember, is the boundary, Saturn in Scorpio. Now, thoughts have moved to Scorpio, so a lot of secrets coming out right now, a lot of truth that you didn't know, and a lot of information that might have been hidden. And it's also a time this week, as Mercury crosses the North Node, to really listen to your spirit for truth, because spirit will tell you the truth when your heart or your ego or your sexual organs aren't. All right, so listening to spirit. Saturn at 10 degrees says you need to love and trust and not go back to wherever you were. In the last year, almost year and a half, you've been trying to learn to trust yourself, and you've been hopefully learning where you've failed to trust yourself. So you cannot go back, says Saturn, and you must now heal forever your trust in yourself. And then lastly, when it comes to changing your whole life or getting the hell out of Dodge or wishing it was all different, that's Venus at 28 degrees. It's going to be there for a couple more days, and then it moves into beliefs, and it is really planting seeds. So what you're hoping it can be is what you're working towards in most cases, but you got to do that bottom work, especially with cutting away what doesn't work. Then lastly, Jupiter in Cancer. This is making you so emotional. This is what's making the Aries and Aries very emotional. This is making you uncomfortable in your own skin. This is what's asking you to step up and be a better super nanny to yourself. All right? Now the good news is the old childhood, the old sickness, the old dis-ease is dead forever. In fact, you're probably having a hard time living without your emotional drama. It might be awkward. It might be strange. So be advised that's going on. At the same time, you're probably being pushed at the brink somewhere emotionally. So maybe being pushed at the brink at work, but suddenly calm at home, something like that. Pretty common right now for the Aries. So as we start this week, we got 4 slow-moving planets. Jupiter in Cancer is the part of you that has to self-nurture and has to push the envelope of emotional nurturing. And so Jupiter is saying, hey, this whole week, love and trust and be very committed to what you need emotionally. That's going to step up and start to manifest on Love Fest Day, and it's going to be tested on Saturday. So your emotions are tested at the end of the week. When it comes to personal boundaries, do not go back to what you know you shouldn't do. Do not sleep with an ex-girlfriend or boyfriend. Do not pass go without collecting $200. You need to love and trust what you know and look forward to a bright new future. Uranus at 10 degrees says, when it comes to your personal strength and when it comes to your ego, no changes right now. You're going to change what you do in your relationships. Don't change your character just yet. You'll have time, don't worry. And then Neptune in Pisces is calling for you to listen to spirit, connect to God, universe, to listen to your own emotions, and be compassionate. You have to be compassionate to yourself, and you have to understand the universe is compassionate. It has a lot of patience for a lot of crap, including yours. So that said, on Sunday, there's a quantum breakthrough, and this might be a fight followed by a breakthrough with a relationship or marriage or a partnership or a strategic alliance. The moon in Scorpio makes you extremely sensitive to personal trust and intimacy issues, and so you might even feel betrayed, or you might even feel like someone has been untrustworthy. But no matter what the case is, you're going to have to make a decision based on relationships and fairness, and you're going to have a tug-of-war between your ego wanting to be the old you and fight, and you trying to ascend higher. So Sunday is kind of tough, but I think by Monday, there's a real understanding of where you are in your partnership. So remember, this is a month about partnerships and getting along with yourself and others. And so Monday is a cloudy day, and you're still very private and withdrawn. So Sunday and Monday, kind of intense and private. Tuesday's Love Fest Day, and for you, this is going to be an adventure, kind of optimistic day. The moon moves out of trusted intimacy, dark issues, and purely into the light, nothing in the subconscious anymore, and emotions are crossing over Venus. So maybe falling in love with an idea, an adventure, falling in love with the direction of learning, but falling in love with something, and something that you'll probably carry up or carry on with after the solar eclipse we have, or after the lunar eclipse, after the eclipse, I can't remember right now, in November. Basically, the end of November is when you're going to see the results start of whatever Love Fest is talking about. So, if you were looking at tickets to take a trip or anything on Tuesday Love Fest Day, tell everyone you love that you love them, but also it's a little hint of what's to come. On Wednesday, Neptune rules the day and the moon is still in Sagittarius, so you're emotionally kind of working up to what your purpose is and what you believe in life, but you're very psychic because you're having to make some decisions in the next 48 hours about people in your life. And this, of course, stems on decisions about your relationship to yourself. If you're good to yourself, you'll enforce things. If you're not good to yourself, you won't. So it's a cloudy and very pensive on Wednesday, and it's possible this decision is a partnership of business, because Thursday, the next day, the day the decision is due, is also a day where the moon is in Capricorn. So you might be saying goodbye to an old business partnership Wednesday, Thursday, or old alliance Wednesday, Thursday, but at the same time, that's so that you can say hello to the alliances and partnerships you want, or so you can say hello to the fair treatment or the camaraderie that you're wanting, not one-sided or whatnot. So Thursday is a decision to cut away from anything else in the mirrage that has to be cut away from, and Thursday's decision to cut away from relationships that don't serve you. Again, emotionally, you're having issues with drawing boundaries, so it might be tough, and it might be career as well, because the moon's in Capricorn. You're having to let go emotionally to an old legacy and an old story. Then on Friday, it's a Mars ruled day, and so the Aries and Aries risings, I predict, will be feeling pretty damn good. The moon in Capricorn makes you sunny and very professional. Probably want to put out there what you want on Friday and go for it. If you got a job interview or you fax a resume, it's got a little extra glitter on it energetically that will probably get you in the door. But definitely move forward with strategic partnerships and move forward with relationship decisions. Don't procrastinate. Trust me, we got so much more to do in the next 6 weeks. You don't have time to put off telling someone that you're really not enjoying the relationship. Go ahead and do it now if you can. And they're having the same day too, so who knows. Then on Saturday might be the toughest day of the week, even though there's a purple butterfly, because the purple butterfly means that we're flying away, we're flying free, and this is like little icons that I'm using. But this is a day where the fear between a home and family and marriage gets its greatest. So you feeling like it's going to be okay. So it's almost like you do this kick-ass week, you say goodbye to everyone, then on Saturday you're alone and you're like, oh God, what did I do? And this is where you have to just love and trust and keep moving. And you might be really feeling sentimental for a friendship or an old time in life on Saturday, because emotions in Aquarius pull you to your belonging and pull you to your social role. So if no one's there, the combined could feel kind of icky. But it's really a love and trust transit. Just keep going through Saturday and get to the next week. Now, taking a sneak peek at next week. Next week, the light bulb goes off on Wednesday, so whatever questions you had, I argue will be answered by Wednesday, Thursday. And then, of course, it really climaxes with that full moon in Aries against the sun in Libra, a tug-of-war between your ego and strength and also your marriage and partnerships, which will surrender. I don't know. You'll have to log in and find out. All right, so let's now gently float down to Earth, and then I will be right back with your Serious Joy Toy after this. At Solmar.me, we have prices and specials worth jumping for. Like the Guardian Agency, our digital network that'll watch over you through email 7 days a week, 7 times a day. Come join our free open house next week. Just navigate to Solmar.me. While you're there, fill out your date of birth and email address in our custom form, and you'll get 7 days free. No credit card required to sign up. Come on down. And while you're there, you might want to also check out the Orbits Report and Jupiter Gets Emotional. Now just $11.11 for limited time and for immediate download. At Solmar.me, mind, body, and soul improvement. Parachute not included. Aries and Aries Risings, welcome back for your Serious Joy Toy. And if you're just joining us, well, this is a little toy I give you to play with in your head and in your life for the entire week that'll help you kind of get on your path. And it's designed that if you play along, you will be brought to some of the strengths and you'll witness some things that you maybe not would have seen if you hadn't played along. And remember, game is the best way to learn. So the question last week was, what if you were royal? What would you change if you were royal? I mean, the people you deal with and the people you marry and the crap you tolerate. If you were royal, would you be different? That's what I asked. And I said, play that all week long. Well, now we're going to build on that with this week's Joy Toy. I want you to choose and decide this week who is your royal court. Who's your jester? Who's your guard? Who can you trust in the castle? Who can you not trust in the castle? That's your game. You are a king or a queen, and you are forming the royal court. Everyone else has to stay outside the drawbridge. Who is in the royal court? That's your serious Joy Toy for the week. All right, Rams, that's all I have for the week. I love you very much. I'll see you in 7 days. Until then, namaste, and live, love, be.
TV.
Seen all of that? Like you're like a booger thrower? Is what you are? You're one of those?
Mud pies.
Okay, fine. Mud pies, boogers. Pick your goo. But whatever it is, you're a goo thrower. You throw goo at people. I know it. And you know, I know those little goo throwers. They're always cute. You can see inside their heart is good as they're throwing a spit wad at you. But as the target of the goo throwers, I just have to say, it's not fun on the receiving end.
But we always clean you guys up afterwards. We never leave you high and dry.
Lick you clean.
That's true.
At least I
Strangely
do.
enough, the goo throwers do turn into people that get you high in high school. You're right. You're right. That is an interesting arc of character development in the United States anyway.